please.
Okay, aortic arch.
Okay, so up here, when you look in the top of the heart, you've got the aortic arch right there. This is, even it's red, it's not supposed to be, but it is the pulmonary trunk. Okay, what's next, Angel?
Brachiocephalic vein.
So your brachiocephalic vein is going to come in, they're going to feed into your superior vena cava here. So this is your brachiocephalic, and you can see, if we hadn't cut it, and that was my fault too, that it went right over here down to the subclavian and then up to the head. Brachio arm, cephalic head. So the brachiocephalic vein is your arm head vein. Okay, the one that's going to go and give both of those. Okay.
Brachiocephalic trunk.
So brachiocephalic trunk is going to be one of those BCS guys that comes off the top of the aorta. So if you found your aortic arch, this one is your B. This is your brachiocephalic trunk right here.
Subclavian arteries right and left.
Okay, so I'm just going to look at the little piggy's left, and this is the subclavian artery right here, and the subclavian vein was right below it. Okay, but I had to fold those ribs back in to find the subclavian, all right?
Common carotid arteries right here.
Common carotid arteries, I'm only again going to do one side, and the common carotid is right here. Okay, and it's really closely attached to the internal jugular vein. You've got an external and an internal jugular, so that's your common carotid.
The next one is jugular vein.
Did it specify external or internal?
No.
If it's in the neck and I tag it and it's blue, I stick a pin in it, you call it the jugular, we're good with that, okay?
Okay, inferior caudal vena cava.
Okay, so when you go down here and you kind of push, which side do we push this aside on?
This one.
Right here. So way down here is the easiest place to see the vena cava, the inferior vena cava, and you can also see right here under the heart and in the middle of the lungs. You can see a little bit of it. And again, I nicked it. These really thick blood vessels, it's kind of hard to see what's inside before you nick it. Okay?
Renal artery.
Okay, so here is the kidney, and there's a renal vein that you can see on this one. On this kidney over here, it's a little easier to see. Whoops. It was a little easier to see, but I guess I cut it. Where you can see a little bit of pink right there. That's your renal artery, and this was your renal vein. And you can see them here. So I am very likely to use this little pig, in which case I would just be tagging the renal vein. All right?
Common iliac veins right and left.
Okay. So for the iliac veins, you have to come down here and you follow the aorta. Now, one of the things that's tricky about this is these little pigs have umbilical cords still. So this is the umbilical artery, and you've got to get around that. I'm actually going to cut the umbilical artery just a little bit more, and you get around that and you look deep to that, and you can find the umbilical artery right here, and we just had the vein. Here we go. Usually the arteries are deep to the veins, and so I'm not really having good luck with this guy. Although it's a really good little pig. You see how there's no crud inside of it? Okay, there we go. Can you see on your video?
Yep.
You see that blue down there?
Yep.
There we go. So this is, we are not going to worry about internal versus external on the pigs. If it's tagged down here after the aorta splits, call it the iliac and leave it alone. Okay? So you can go back to your thing and mark off internal and external everywhere you see it. I just want to know iliac. And then when you come down here, then it becomes femoral. Okay, but up right in here, a very short iliac. I'm not going to try to differentiate between internal, external, and common. Okay? All right. Now, it's pretty easy, I think. What do you think?